The silence before wealth arrives is not empty, it is loaded. And right now, chosen one, that silence is wrapping around you like a storm about to break. You have been walking through years of financial drought, watching others rise while you scraped by. And the entire time you wondered if abundance had forgotten your address. But here is the truth they never wanted you to discover. The delay was not denial, it was preparation for the kind of wealth that does not trickle in. It floods, and tonight the floodgates crack open. Not because you begged for it, but because you survived long enough to be trusted with it. Imagine standing at the edge of a dam. For years, the water pressed against concrete, silent but powerful, building pressure no one could see. Then, one day, without warning, a crack appears. And when that crack widens, the force behind it is unstoppable. That is exactly where you stand right now. The wealth meant for you has been gathering behind the scenes, piling up in realms you cannot measure, waiting for the moment when your spirit could handle the weight of it. And, chosen one, that moment is here. Not metaphorically, literally. The shift happening in your life right now is not just emotional or spiritual. It is financial, and the amount coming your way will rewrite every story they told about you. The ones who doubted you, who smirked when you struggled, who whispered that you would never make it, they are about to choke on their words. Because the universe does not just reward survival, it compensates for every ounce of disrespect you endured in silence. Every betrayal, every closed door, every humiliation you swallowed without retaliation, all of it has been logged. And the repayment is not small, it is staggering. The kind of wealth that makes people question if they are seeing correctly. The kind that does not just change your bank account, but erases every limitation they tried to stamp on your forehead. Before we go further, chosen one, I need you to do something. If this message is hitting you in the chest, if something inside you is confirming that this is your moment, press that like button right now and subscribe to this channel. This is not just content. This is confirmation, and your engagement tells the algorithm to spread this message to more souls who need to hear it. Drop the number 777 in the comments if you can feel the shift already starting. Because what I am about to reveal is not theory, it is the blueprint of what is unfolding in your life at this very second. Now let's dive in. They tried to convince you that wealth was for other people. People with connections, with degrees, with the right last names. They made you believe that abundance required luck, timing, or some secret handshake you were never taught, but that was the lie designed to keep you small. Because the truth is this, wealth was assigned to you before you ever took your first breath, not based on merit, not based on performance, but based on purpose. And the reason it took so long to arrive is not because you were unworthy, it is because the amount coming required you to be unbreakable first. Think about it. Why would the universe hand millions to someone who would crumble under the weight of sudden attention? Why would it pour wealth into the hands of someone still desperate for validation? The delay was not punishment, it was protection. You were being stripped of the need to prove yourself, the addiction to approval, the fear of being seen. Every hardship you faced was part of the strengthening process. Because when wealth of this magnitude arrives, it brings pressure, scrutiny, envy, and opportunity all at once. And only someone forged in fire can handle that without breaking. You were never unlucky, you were being prepared. While others received small blessings early, you were being trained for the flood. And now the training is complete. You have walked through betrayal without losing your integrity. You have survived rejection without becoming bitter. You have endured lack without turning cruel. That is why the wealth coming to you now is not just money. It is confirmation. Confirmation that you pass tests most people never even realize they are taking. And the payout reflects the level of the test. Chosen one, let this settle into your bones. The wealth is not random. It is not a lottery. It is a delivery. And the address was always yours. The only question now is whether you are ready to open the door when it knocks. Because it is knocking right now. Not next year, not when you feel more prepared. Now. And the moment you stop doubting and start receiving, the floodgates open fully. The delay ends, the drought breaks, and you step into the financial reality they swore you would never touch. Let me tell you something that will make your past struggles make sense. The people who attacked you, who sabotaged you, who whispered lies about your character, they were not just jealous of who you were. They were terrified of who you were becoming. They could feel it, even when you could not. They sensed the wealth attached to your name, the influence coded into your spirit, the authority you were destined to carry. And that is why they moved so aggressively to stop you before you realized your own power. Because once you wake up, once you step into alignment, their entire game collapses. Your wealth was never just about you. It was about what you would do with it. The lives you would change, the systems you would disrupt, the truth you would fund. That is what terrified them. Because people who hoard wealth for ego can be controlled, but people who wield wealth for purpose cannot. They knew that the moment you had resources, you would become untouchable. You would not need their approval. You would not bow to their systems. You would not play their games. And that independence is the one thing they cannot survive. That is why the attacks were so brutal. That is why the betrayals cut so deep. They were not just trying to hurt you. They were trying to delay your arrival. Every obstacle they threw in your path was a desperate attempt to slow you down, to make you give up, to convince you that wealth was not meant for you. They thought they were breaking you, but they were actually sharpening you. And now, the blade they spent years trying to dull is about to cut through every limitation they built around you. Chosen one, your enemies are about to witness something they never prepared for. The rise they tried to prevent, the wealth they tried to block, the influence they tried to suffocate. All of it is about to manifest in plain sight, and there is nothing they can do to stop it. Not because you are fighting them, but because the universe already ruled in your favor. The verdict was signed long before they even started scheming, and now the enforcement begins, not with revenge, but with undeniable results. Your wealth becomes their mirror, reflecting every lie they told about you. Here is where most people miss it. They think the goal is the money itself. They chase the billion like it is the finish line. But chosen one, that is not how this works for you. The wealth coming your way is not the goal. It is the byproduct. The actual goal is alignment. And when you align fully with your purpose, when you step into the frequency you were designed to operate in, wealth does not trickle in, it erupts. Because money is just energy, and energy flows toward clarity, purpose, and unshakable alignment. You have spent years trying to figure out how to make money, but the shift happening now flips that entire script. You are no longer chasing, you are attracting, and the difference is everything. Chasing requires effort, strategy, hustle. Attracting requires alignment, clarity, presence. When you stop forcing and start flowing, when you stop performing and start embodying, the wealth that was always meant for you stops being blocked. It moves toward you like water rushing downhill, effortless, inevitable, unstoppable. This is why your past struggles were so important. They were not just testing your patience. They were stripping away everything false, everything forced, everything fake. You were being emptied so you could be filled correctly. Because wealth poured into a misaligned vessel leaks out just as fast. But wealth poured into someone who knows their worth, who trusts their path, who operates from purpose instead of panic, that wealth multiplies. It does not just sit in an account. It compounds. It creates. It transforms. Chosen one, the billion coming to you is not a trophy. It is a tool. It is not there to prove your worth. It is there to amplify your... And the moment you stop seeing it as the goal and start seeing it as the resource, the flow accelerates. You were not chosen to hoard wealth. You were chosen to circulate it, to use it, to build with it. And the universe rewards that kind of stewardship with abundance that never runs dry. So stop chasing the money. Start stepping into the alignment. And watch how fast the money chases you. They told you wealth builds slowly, that you have to grind for decades, climb ladders, prove yourself over and over. And maybe that is true for some people, but not for you, because what is happening in your life right now does not follow normal rules. The shift you are experiencing is not gradual, it is instant. One day you are struggling to make ends meet, the next day the floodgates open. And when they open, the amount that pours through is not incremental, it is overwhelming. That is how it works for chosen ones. The wait is long, but the arrival is sudden. Think about a volcano. For years, maybe centuries, it sits dormant, silent. People forget it is even there. But underground, pressure is building, heat is rising, energy is compounding. Then one day, without warning, it erupts. And when it does, the force is catastrophic. That is your financial breakthrough. It has been building in silence while you struggled. Every closed door added pressure, every rejection added heat, every betrayal added fuel, and now the eruption is here, not slow, not gradual, instant and undeniable. This is why you have felt so restless lately, why sleep has been strange, why your intuition has been screaming. Your spirit knows something your mind does not fully grasp yet. The shift is already in motion. The wealth is already moving, the doors are already opening, you just have not seen the evidence yet. But you will, and when you do, it will not be small signs. It will be massive confirmations that leave no room for doubt. The kind of change that makes everyone around you stop and ask what happened. Chosen one, prepare yourself. Not for a slow climb, prepare for a launch. The kind that leaves you breathless, the kind that makes you question if it is real. The kind that forces you to recalibrate everything you thought you knew about how wealth works, because the rules they taught you do not apply to you. You were never meant to crawl toward success, you were meant to be catapulted into it, and that catapult is releasing right now. For years you stayed quiet. While others bragged, performed, and shouted for attention, you moved in silence. And they mistook that silence for weakness. They thought you had nothing to say, nothing to offer, nothing to prove. But the truth is, your silence was the strategy. You were not hiding, you were loading. And now the chamber is full, the aim is locked, and the shot is about to be fired. And when it lands, the impact will shatter every assumption they made about you. People who operate from ego need constant validation. They need applause, likes, recognition. They measure their worth by how much noise they can make. But you, chosen one, you were built differently. Your worth was never tied to their opinions. Your power was never dependent on their approval. That is why you could stay silent. Because you were not building a performance, you were building a foundation. And foundations are not built above ground where everyone can see. They are poured in the dirt, in the dark, in the hidden places where real strength is forged. Your silence protected you. It kept jealous eyes off your plans. It prevented sabotage before your foundation was solid. It allowed you to move without interference, to build without distraction, to grow without the weight of public opinion pressing down on you. And now that the foundation is complete, now that the structure is ready, the silence breaks. Not with desperation, not with begging for attention, but with results so loud they cannot be ignored. Your wealth will speak for you. Your success will announce you. Your elevation will silence every critic who thought your quiet meant you quit. Chosen one, never regret the years you spent in silence. They were not wasted. They were strategic. While others burned out chasing visibility, you were storing energy, sharpening focus, aligning purpose. And now, when you finally step into the light, you step in fully formed, fully funded, fully unstoppable. The silence was not the weakness they thought it was. It was the wind-up before the punch, and the punch is about to land. Here is something they do not tell you about sudden wealth. It does not just change your bank account, it changes your entire social ecosystem. The moment the money arrives, the masks start slipping. People you thought were solid suddenly reveal themselves as opportunists, and people you barely noticed step forward as true allies. Wealth is the ultimate filter. It separates the loyal from the leeches, the genuine from the jealous, the supporters from the users. And chosen one, you are about to see exactly who is who. Some will celebrate loudly when they hear about your success, but pay attention to the energy behind the celebration. Are they celebrating you or what they think they can get from you? Are they happy for your breakthrough or calculating how they can benefit from it? Real ones celebrate without asking for access. Fake ones congratulate you while already drafting their request. And the wealth coming to you is so significant that the fakes will not be able to hide. Their intentions will leak through their words, their energy, their actions. Then there are the ones who will go silent, the ones who were around when you struggled, but disappear when you rise. They are not happy for you, they are threatened. Your success exposes their stagnation, your wealth highlights their lack. And instead of being inspired, they become resentful. Let them go, do not chase, do not explain. Their exit is not a loss, it is a reveal, and the space they leave creates room for people who match your new frequency. Chosen one, do not be surprised when your circle shrinks dramatically after the wealth arrives. That is not failure. That is refinement. The universe is removing everyone who cannot operate at the level you are stepping into. And yes, it will hurt. Some of the people leaving are people you loved. But love does not equal alignment. And at this stage of your journey, alignment matters more than history. Protect your peace, guard your energy, and trust that the right people will find you at the right time. The wealth is not just financial, it is relational. And you are about to inherit both. The wealth coming to you is not just for you. Let that sink in. Chosen one, you are about to step into a level of abundance so significant that it overflows into the lives of people you have never even met. You will become the answer to prayers whispered in secret, the breakthrough someone has been begging for, the miracle a family thought would never come. Your wealth will fund healing, restore hope, rebuild lives. And you will not even realize the full impact of what you carry until years from now, when strangers thank you for changing their world. This is why the preparation was so intense. This is why the testing was so brutal, because the wealth you are receiving is not just a personal blessing. It is a generational shift. It is a bloodline correction. It is a system disruptor. And the universe does not hand that kind of power to people who will waste it on ego. You were trained in hardship so you would remember what lack feels like. You were humbled so you would not become arrogant. You were broken so you would understand what it means to rebuild from nothing. And now, with all of that wisdom embedded in your spirit, you are ready to carry wealth that serves more than just yourself. You will fund dreams, you will erase debts, you will provide opportunities, you will create pathways for people who have been blocked for years, and you will do it not from obligation, but from overflow. Because when you are operating in true abundance, giving does not deplete you, it multiplies you. Every seed you plant returns as a forest, every hand you extend comes back as a bridge, and the more you pour out, the more pours in. That is the law of circulation. And you are about to experience it on a scale most people never witness. Chosen one, do not take this responsibility lightly. The wealth is a tool. The question is what you will build with it. Will you hoard it like the ones who came before you? Or will you circulate it like the rivers that never run dry? The universe is watching. And the way you steward this first wave of abundance will determine the size of the next wave. Be wise. Be generous. Be intentional. Because you are not just becoming a billionaire. You are becoming a force. I need to be honest with you. The moment you cross the threshold into this level of wealth, the resistance will spike. The attacks will not stop just because the money arrives. In fact, they will intensify, because your enemies know that once you have resources, you become untouchable. Once you have wealth, you have options, influence, independence, and that terrifies them. So they will make one last desperate push to destabilize you before you lock in the blessing. Do not be caught off guard. This is part of the process. Think of it like this. A snake is most dangerous when it is cornered. It lashes out with everything it has left because it knows it is about to be defeated. That is what your enemies are doing right now. They can feel the shift. They sense the wealth moving toward you, and they are throwing everything they have at you to try and delay it, distract you, or make you doubt that it is real. They will plant seeds of fear, whisper doubts into your mind, create chaos into your relationships. All of it is designed to make you hesitate, to make you second guess, to make you shrink back from what is already yours. But here is what they do not understand. You are not the same person they attacked years ago. You have been refined. You have been strengthened. You have been trained to stand in the middle of the storm without flinching. So when the attacks come, and they will, you do not react. You do not engage. You do not waste energy defending yourself. You stay focused. You stay aligned. You keep moving forward. Because the breakthrough is not on the other side of the attack. The breakthrough is in the middle of it. And the moment you refuse to be shaken, the door swings open. Chosen one, this is your final test. Not a test of your worthiness. You already passed that. This is a test of your resolve. Will you fold under pressure? Or will you stand firm in the knowing that what is meant for you cannot be blocked? The universe is watching, and your response to this last wave of resistance will determine how fast the wealth arrives. Stay strong, stay steady, stay silent, and watch how quickly the noise collapses when you refuse to give it power. One of the biggest mistakes people make is thinking wealth arrives the way they expect it to. They watch for the promotion, the lottery win, the inheritance, and when those things do not happen, they assume the blessing is not coming. But chosen one, the wealth moving toward you is not following a predictable path. It is coming through doors you did not even know existed. It is arriving in forms you did not anticipate. And if you are too busy watching the obvious routes, you will miss the unconventional entry points the universe is using to deliver your blessing. Maybe it is a random conversation that leads to an opportunity. Maybe it is an idea that hits you at 3 in the morning. Maybe it is a connection that seems insignificant at first, but turns into a multi-million-dollar partnership. The point is this: stop trying to control how the wealth arrives. Your job is not to map the route. Your job is to stay open, stay alert, stay ready. Because the universe is more creative than you could ever imagine. And the way it delivers your breakthrough will be so unexpected that you will not be able to take credit for it. You will only be able to marvel at the precision. This is why intuition is so important right now. You need to be tuned in, not to logic, not to strategy, but to the subtle nudges, the quiet whispers, the strange pulls that do not make sense on paper. Follow them, even when they seem illogical, even when they contradict what you were taught. Because those nudges are the breadcrumbs leading you to the vault. And the moment you stop overthinking and start trusting, the door opens. The wealth is not hiding, it is waiting for you to step into alignment so it can find you. Chosen one, release the need to understand how. Release the need to control the process. Your only job is to show up, stay aligned, and be ready to receive. The universe is handling the logistic. It is orchestrating connections, timing, opportunities in ways you cannot see yet. And when it all comes together, when the pieces suddenly click, you will realize that every delay, every detour, every strange turn was part of the setup. The wealth is coming, and it is coming in ways that will leave you speechless. Here is the part they do not want to admit. Your rise does not just elevate you, it exposes them. The moment you step into wealth, influence, authority, The ones who tried to keep you small will face their own reckoning, not because you are attacking them, not because you are seeking revenge, but because the universe does not allow imbalance to continue once a chosen one steps into their power. Your elevation becomes their mirror, and what they see in that mirror is not pretty. It is the reflection of their own jealousy, their own insecurity, their own wasted potential. Some will crumble quietly, their confidence will drain, their schemes will fail, their influence will shrink. Others will lash out publicly, trying to drag you down to make themselves feel bigger. But none of it will work, because you are no longer operating in their realm. You have stepped into a frequency they cannot touch, and the more they try to pull you back, the more they accelerate their own collapse. It is not karma, it is consequence. And you do not have to do anything to make it happen. It unfolds automatically the moment you stop playing small. Let me paint a picture. Imagine a crab bucket. When one crab tries to climb out, the others pull it back down. But what happens when one crab finally escapes? The ones left behind do not rise. They just scramble harder, pulling each other down in frustration. That is what happens when you elevate. The ones who tried to keep you trapped will turn on each other, and you will watch from a distance, not with joy, but with clarity. Because their fight was never really with you, it was with themselves. And now they have to face that without using you as the distraction. Chosen one, do not waste time worrying about their reaction to your success. They are not your concern anymore. Your focus is forward. Your energy is clean, and your wealth is secured. Let them scramble, let them panic, let them collapse. That is not your battle, that is their reckoning. And the universe does not need your help to execute it. Your only job is to keep rising, keep building, keep shining, and trust that the balance will correct itself without you lifting a finger. I want to prepare you for something. Kassan, when the wealth finally arrives, when the money hits your account, when the opportunities start flooding in, it will not feel real at first. You will check your balance multiple times just to make sure it is not a mistake. You will question if it is sustainable. You will wonder if you are dreaming. And that disorientation is normal, because you have spent so long in lack that abundance feels foreign. Your nervous system has to catch up to your new reality, and that adjustment period can be uncomfortable. Some people self-sabotage during this phase. They receive the blessing but do not feel worthy of it, so they unconsciously create problems to match their old identity. They overspend, they make reckless decisions, they push away the very thing they prayed for. Do not be that person. Chosen one, you have to anchor yourself in the truth that this wealth is not a mistake. It is not luck. It is not random. It is the manifestation of everything you have been preparing for. And you deserve it. Not because you are perfect, but because you survived the fire that was meant to destroy you. Your job during the adjustment period is simple. Stay grounded. Do not make major decisions while you are in shock. Do not flaunt. Do not overshare. Move in silence and let your actions speak. Hire the right advisors. Protect your peace. And most importantly, do not let the opinions of people who were not there during your struggle dictate how you move in your abundance. They do not get a vote. This is your season, and you get to write the rules. Chosen one. The surreal feeling will pass. Eventually the wealth will feel normal. It will become your baseline. And when that happens, when you finally settle into your new reality, you will realize something powerful. You were always meant to live like this. The lack was the illusion. The struggle was the training. But this abundance, this is your natural state. And now you get to live in it fully, freely, unapologetically. Let me leave you with this. The biggest block between you and the wealth is not external. It is internal. It is the guilt you carry for wanting more, the shame you feel for desiring abundance, the voice in your head that says you do not deserve it, that you are being greedy, that you should be grateful for what you have. That voice is not yours. It is programming. And it is time to delete it. Because, chosen one, You were not designed to live in lack. You were designed to overflow. And there is nothing selfish about stepping into the fullness of what was always meant for you. Receive without guilt. That is your final instruction. When the money comes, do not apologize for it. When the opportunities arrive, do not shrink from them. When the blessings multiply, do not question if you deserve them. You do. Not because you are perfect, but because you are aligned. And alignment is the only requirement the universe needs. So let it in. All of it. The wealth, the influence, the impact, the freedom. Let it in, without hesitation. Because the moment you receive fully, the floodgates open wider. And what comes next will dwarf what you are seeing now. This is your time. This is your season. This is your moment. And no one, not your enemies, not your doubts, not even your past, can take it from you. The wealth is yours. The breakthrough is here. And all you have to do is step forward and claim it. So drop the number 777 in the comments if you are ready to receive. Share this message with someone who needs to hear it. And remember, you are not just becoming a billionaire, you are becoming the proof that the universe rewards the faithful. Now go. Your empire is waiting.